explain what is React.js and what are the benefits we have with this React.js. These concepts we are discussing now. Yes, yeah, fine. Before starting this discussion, first we need to discuss something about web architecture. Okay, I mean client and server architectures. So this concept we are going to discuss. Yes. So if you take any web applications, yeah. So just you can see this. So if you take any website, so actually in every website we have two pages here. Okay, so diagrammatically want to see here. Okay, now you can see this. So if you take any website, in website two different pages we have. Yes, one is design phase and next one is coding phase. Like that, here we have two different phases in the website development. So first one is designing phase and second one is coding phase. In designing phase, we are creating user interfaces. In designing phase, we are creating what? User interfaces. Yes. So what is user interface? Nothing but the front page which we are displaying to the end user. For example, if you take registration page or login page, okay, every page contains some design script, right? Okay, that is nothing but user interface we are calling here. Okay, so that is user interface. So for example, if you take, okay, so this registration page contains some controls, like the login page contains some controls like username text box, password text box, like that. So these controls we are placing in this user interface designing phase. Okay, this designing phase we are using, what are the technologies we are using? See, if anybody is not getting my voice, please rejoin the meeting. So you people are getting or not, say yes or no once, please, all of you. Are you getting my voice or not? Yes. Okay. Some persons are struggling with this network or something. I think that is problem from your side. So better to rejoin. Okay. Yeah. Now in this user interface point of view, we are using some technologies like HTML, yes, and CSS. These type of technologies we are using here to design the front pages, user interfaces, right? Okay, fine. Now come to this coding concept. In coding point of view, so what are the technologies we are using here? Yes, we are taking the support of different technologies. Actually, coding, if you take two types of codings we are using here. So one is client side coding, another one is server side coding. So what the first one here? So client side, another one is server side. Yes, so here this is client side code and next one is server side code. Like that, we have two types of codings here. So one is client side, another one is server side. So here, what is client side script and what is server side script? That is the main concept of this. Okay, client side script means the script which is browser. That code we are calling as client side script. Server side means the code which is executing in web server. Like that, here if you observe, we have two types of scriptings. First one is client side and second one is server side. Is it clear? So client side means that script executes in which location? Client's mission. In browser it is executing. So every browser contains interpreters to execute the client side code, and server side means the code which is executing web server. So these technologies comes under client side and server side. For example, if you take JavaScript, okay, JavaScript, and next level of JavaScript like React.js or Angularjs, all these technologies comes under client side scripts. And server side, if you take ASP, JSP, PHP, like that, these technologies comes under server side scripts. Okay, when you are coming into the coding point of view, So two types of scriptings we are using here. One is client side, another one is server side. Now, what type of operations we can do with this client side script? That point is very important because we are working with the React.js. React.js is nothing but client side script. So what type of operations we can do with this? So that concept we are discussing here. So now here, if you take client side script, okay. So here, what is the meaning of client side script? Script which executes or which runs in browser of client system. We can call it as client side script. Server side script means what is that? Server side script means so runs in web server. We're calling it as server side script like that. Yes, we have these two types of scripts. One is client side script, another one is server side script like that. Okay. Now examples of client side script, already I told you JavaScript, JavaScript and React.js, Angularjs, okay, Vue.js, all these comes under client side scripts. Now what is the main role of client side script? In which point of we are using this client side scripts? Okay, that concept we are discussing now. If you take this client side scripts, so we are using in so many functional point of views. First one is to apply dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. Client side script we are using in which point of it to apply the dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. What is meaning of dynamic functionality? Yes, changing the properties of HTML controls at runtime. That is the concept of dynamic functionality, changing the properties of HTML controls at runtime. So for example, if you take HTML controls, those controls are static or dynamic controls? Tell me. All HTML controls are static controls. Is it clear? So static means, what is the meaning of static? Properties of controls cannot change at runtime. That is the meaning of static. Is it clear? Static meaning is, what is that? Properties of controls cannot be changed at runtime. Dynamic is there. Dynamic means properties of controls can change at runtime. But by default, HTML controls are static controls. So those controls you want to convert as dynamic controls, then we are taking the support of JavaScript. Is it clear? So that is the concept of this. So one simple example I will show you for your clarity. So this is only to get some clarity in this point of view. So simple HTML program I am creating. Demo.html I have given. Yes, there one image control I want to place. Yes. So here in my desktop, mango.jfif image is there, apple.jfif. These two images are available. Now I want to play this image controls here. Okay. So img source is equal to mango.jfif and width is equal to 100 pixels. So what the file name? Simple demo.html I have given HTML file, and I have taken one HTML control, that is mango.jfif. Now if you observe this one, anyone is asking question?
And expected behavior anannara panu.
Sorry, come again. Okay, she's done. Okay, so now here this is demo.html page. If I double click on this, now you can see. So this is the HTML image control. So at runtime in browser it is loaded, right? Okay. Now here the thing is, this control, any property can we change now? Not possible. In design point of view, what are the properties I have given? Something like source is one property I have given here. And if you observe here, width is one more property I have given. So what are the properties I have given in this design time? Those properties are applied here.
Every 1 hour date.
Now my requirement is, I want to change these properties at runtime. So here default source is mango. My requirement, when I click on this image control, so then I want to change this mango as apple.jfif. That is my requirement. So in this point of, we are using JavaScript. We are taking the support of JavaScript. So actually here I am writing Don't try to understand the statement now. I will discuss all these things with React.js. So now here on click is equal to, so I'm going to write some JavaScript code. So that's why I've taken like this. So which property we are planning to change here? SRC, that is nothing but apple.jfif I have given like this. Now refresh. So when I click on this image control, okay, then it is changing as apple. So here we changed the source property. Like that, any controls property you want to change at runtime. For example, button I am taking. Yes. So input type is equal button. We are using this tag. So now it will display button without any text. I want to place some text here. Then we are using value is equal to something like click I have given. So this is the button control. Input type is equal button and value is equal click I have given. Now when I refresh, then this is the button control which we have. Now my requirement is when I move mouse over this button, I want to change this control as text box. You understand my point? When I move the mouse on this button, I want to change this control as text box. Then here on mouse over is equal to as something like JavaScript colon. So just value is equal or type is equal to. We are changing it as text box like that argument. So I told you don't try to understand this statement, just see the output here. Okay, now refresh of this program, and when I move mouse over this, then what is happened, it is converted as text box. Like that, any controls properties we are changing at runtime with the help of JavaScript. So that point only I told here. Okay, yes. So we can use to apply dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. In that point we are taking the support of JavaScript. Okay, and second one, to validate input controls. So here any client-side script, not only JavaScript, okay, React.js or any other client-side script. So we are using validations. Okay, so we can validate the input controls. Validate means we are checking the control contains proper data or not. Okay, and third one, to execute logics. Yeah, so if you write any logics in client-side script like React or JavaScript, etc. So those logics are executed in browser. Yes. So here to execute logics in browser. Now, which one is faster? Client-side logic execution is faster or server-side logic execution is faster? That is the main question here. See, for example, you are creating one calculator program. User will perform many calculations. This program you can create either client side or server side. Okay, by using client side script or by using server side script. Okay, yes, we can create this program by using either client side script or server side script. For example, if I create this program using the client side script, that program is executed in browser and it gives the very fast output for us. Okay, means client can see the output very fast. In case if it is server side script, when user click on the operation buttons like plus, minus, etc., every time the request is going to the server, there the code is executing and response is coming back. So for this entire round trip, it takes some time. That's why in web applications, most of the logics we are implementing using client-side scripts. So you understand this point? Yes. Next one, to work with Ajax concepts. Like that. Yes, we are using to work with the Ajax concepts. So these are the main areas we are using to work with these client-side scripts here. So now if you take JavaScript or next level of JavaScript, so any client-side script, the major functionalities, these are the four major functionalities why we are using these client-side scripts. Why we are using these client-side scripts? One is to apply dynamic functionalities and HTML controls. Another one is to validate the input controls. Next one, to execute the logics in browser. Okay, and to work with the Ajax concepts. Okay, yes. Now you can ask me one question, sir. when we are using server-side scripts. In which point of we are using server-side scripts? Yes. So mostly if we take server-side scripts like PHP, ASP, JSP, etc., these server-side scripts we are using in which point of view? To connect with the database of servers. Okay. For example, website, if we take website database is located in the centralized server. In order to connect with this database, compulsory server-side script is required. And to work with the sessions concept, in this point of we are taking the support of server-side scripts. And client-side scripts we are using to work with the browser functionalities, Ajax concepts, validations, and dynamic HTML. In this point of view, we are taking the support of client-side scripts. Like that, we have these two types of scriptings here. So now React.js, if you take, what is React.js? Is it client-side script or server-side script? You answer. Yes, you got clarity now, I think. Yes, all of you in unmute mode. Yes, yeah, fine. Very good.
The client
So
side
React
script.
is nothing but client side script. So why we are calling React, JavaScript, all these technologies as client side script? What the reason behind that? Tell me. Based on the execution location. Okay. If you take JavaScript, React, all these technologies are executing where? In client system with the help of browser. Every browser contains interpreters. Okay. These interpreters executes here. Yeah, Ajax concept I will explain to you. No worries. Ajax is very important for us. So these days API services we are calling. So in this point of we are taking the support of Ajax. Actually, Ajax we are using to send a request to the server without submitting the web page, but we are spending around 2 to 3 days to work with this Ajax concepts. I will explain to you later. Yes, fine. Now, in React.js, Axios is one package. Yes, this Axios package we are using to work with the Ajax. A prerequisite is to learn this React.js JavaScript. Yes, so that's why here I am discussing the JavaScript concepts first. Then only I will start the React.js concepts. So because React.js is nothing
Okay,
but
sir.
the library of JavaScript. Yes, yeah.
మరొకటి ఏదైనా తీసుకున్నా ఫిల్టర్ యాడ్ చేయండి జేపీ కానీ అలా ఏమైనా.
So here just Nirmala, you are speaking with someone, it seems like that. Okay, fine. Now here come to this point. So here prerequisite is JavaScript. So that's why first I will discuss the JavaScript concepts, complete JavaScript concepts I will discuss. So JavaScript, you may think JavaScript is very simple. We know JavaScript like window object, document object, like that math object. Actually, those are very basic level concepts. But advanced JavaScript, if you take promises, okay. Next one, prototypes, objects, object oriented concepts. Actually, JavaScript is not fully object oriented, it is object based, but from version 2016 onwards, okay, that ECMAScript 6 version onwards, class programming is their classes and inheritance, like that. These all concepts are very important for us. Once we clear with this concept, then only we can understand React.js. That's why initially I will take the JavaScript concept, then only I will start that React.js concept. That's why no need to worry about this prerequisites. I will take care about all these things. Okay. Yes. Now React.js, it is, yeah, actually Java is different, JavaScript is different. Okay, Java is different and JavaScript is different. So don't think, okay, Mysore and Mysore Bhaji both are same. Yes, yes or no? So like that here. So yeah, so there is no question of JavaScript is complicated, like that. JavaScript is very simple program. Is it clear? Yes. Okay. So you will feel that simplicity. No need in that. No need to worry in that point of view. Okay. React.js, it is a library of, okay, JavaScript. Yeah. What is React.js? Library of JavaScript. What is library? Library is providing set of functionalities. Okay, predefined functionalities are available here in this React.js. Okay, yeah. So what is the difference between AngularJS and React.js? If you want to get the difference, first you should know some concepts of React.js, then only these differences you can understand. Right now, if I explain the differences between Angular and React, you cannot understand, no? Because data binding point of view differences are there, single page application point of view differences are there, virtual DOM point of view differences are there. Like that, in many point of views differences are there between this AngularJS and React.js. But before that, you should know what is data binding, what is single page application, and what is virtual DOM. These are all concepts you should know. Once you know all these concepts, then only you can easily understand this one. Is it clear? Yes. Yes. So React.js is the library of JavaScript. So it is providing number of predefined functionalities to simply work with the JavaScript. Okay, one example. Ajax Concept is there. To work with this Ajax Concept using JavaScript, we are using one object in JavaScript. ActiveX object is there. So here in this point of we have to write number of lines coding. To work with this ActiveX object, we have to write number of lines coding. But when you are coming to this React.js, one package is available, Axios package. Okay, Axios package is available. It is only one line script we are using to work with this Ajax concept. Is it clear? Like that, so React.js is providing the simplified functionalities of JavaScript. Okay, so if any task is taking much lines in JavaScript, so that is very simplified in this React.js. That is the concept of this. Okay, yes, it is implemented by, okay, who implemented this one? That first one, Jordan walking. 1 second. It is implemented by Jordan walking. Actually, employee of Facebook. Okay, he implemented this one. Okay, and home edition is released in 2012 and public edition is released in 2013. That is 1.x. Initially in Facebook they used this one. Okay, later in many websites like Instagram and Apple, like the different website, they used this one. Now here it is very huge usage of, okay, web applications. Almost all companies working with this React.js technology. Is it clear? Now one person asked me one question, sir, which one is better to learn, AngularJS or React.js? That question I got right now. Yes. So yeah, for everything I will give you clarity because I'm handling these both technologies. That's why I can easily compare. So here, the person who has idea on the JavaScript, that person can easily migrate to React.js because it is the library of JavaScript I told you, right? So that's why till now in companies, most of the persons work with JavaScript. That's why they can easily shift it to React.js. That's why most of the companies using React.js now. But when you are coming to this Angular, Angular also has many features. Okay, many features like React.js. But in usage point of view, React is very simple than Angular. Learning curve point of view, React is very simple than Angular. And functionalities point of view, Angular has more functionality than React. You understand this one? Yes. So like that here at the time of usage and at the time of functioning point of view, okay, I mean at the time of working point of React is very easy compare with Angular. So that's why most of the companies preferring this React. Okay, but even Angular also providing many more features. Yes. Yeah, mobile application point of view, you're asking React Native is there now? Yes, React Native is there. Directly we can use the React Native to work with the mobile application. So here native code is there, React Native is there. Both are different. So native means we can use with Angular as well as other technologies. But React Native is separate only for the mobile applications. Cross mobile applications we can easily develop with the React Native also. Like that, it is fully compatible with web applications as well as mobile applications. Okay, so many programmers who already worked with JavaScript, they are migrated to React JS in companies. That's why we have huge requirements with this React JS. So most of the companies working with this React JS, no doubt in that point of view. Is it clear? Yes. Any more queries? Yeah. So here React Native we don't discuss in this batch. That is separate batch. This is React JS batch. But here in React Native compulsory this code only we are using. But React Native is providing some additional features. That's why first of all you should know React JS. Once you clear with this React JS, then you can work with the React Native easily. Without idea on this React JS, direct React Native you want to start, not possible. So because React Native is providing some advanced tools to handle the mobile components, but there the coding is React JS coding only. Is it clear? Yes. Fine. So now here, yeah. So who implemented this one? This React JS is implemented by Jordan Walkie, and now it is maintained by Facebook Corporation. Okay, now which corporation is maintaining here? Facebook. It's like that. Fine. Now next point is, yeah, what are the features we have in this React JS? In React, compare with JavaScript. Okay, I told you this is next level of JavaScript. I told you that one, right? Next level means what are the additional features we have? What are the advantages we have? Why should I go with React JS instead of JavaScript? Yes. So is there any strong reasons are there? So those things we are going to discuss now. So first of all, if you take here, yeah, supports data binding concept. So right now I'm giving you overview explanation. Later we will start the programming with this data binding and single page application. Each and every concepts we will discuss. Only for data binding we are spending 3 classes, single page application 5 classes, like that. So right now, what are the features we have in React JS compared to JavaScript? Why these days people in company programmers are working with React JS instead of JavaScript? Yes, so that concept we are discussing supports data binding. Yes. Okay, now here, so data binding we are using to bind a variable with the output control. For example, I have one variable. If you take JavaScript, in JavaScript I have one variable like serial number. Serial number is one variable, value is 100 is there. So see this diagram, you can understand here. Now for example, serial number is equal 100 is there. This variable value I want to display on the output control. Is it clear? So this variable value I want to display on the output control. So in this point of in JavaScript, we are executing some logics. In these logics, okay, reading that variable and displaying on this output control. Yes. So in this point of we're taking the support of document.get element by ID. These type of functions we are using here. So by using these functions, we are calling the variable and we are displaying on this output control like this. Yes. Now here the same variable you want to display on the heading tag or in any other location here. You want to display on the heading tag or you want to display on the paragraph. You have to execute the same coding like this. Okay, we have to execute the same coding like this. Yes, then we can display that variable value on this other controls. Is it clear? Yes. But when you are coming to this React JS is providing data binding concept. What is the main purpose of data binding? What is the main purpose of data binding? As data binding, we are using to bind a variable with output control. Means we need not write any coding in this point of simple properties available, expression is available. What is that expression? I will show you later. Using this expression, we can bind a variable with HTML control like text box or paragraph or any other control. Means no need to write this type of coding here like document.get element by these type of statements are not required. Directly we can link a variable with HTML control. Now you can ask me, sir, is it decreasing lines of coding? Yes, it is decreasing lines of coding. So is it only useful with this data point? No, one more use is there. What is that? Whenever the variable value is updating, automatically all these outputs will update. Is it clear? Means we are also no need to worry about the updated values of variables. When the variable is updating, automatically this text box and heading tag or paragraph in which location we display that variable, every control will update with the modified values. So that is also working with this data binding. So that's why as a programmer, so we are fetching the set of records from server, and we are displaying in the browser within the div tag or something, database records. So in backend, if database is already updated, then automatically here the output will update itself. We are not bothered about these modifications, everything. That is the concept of data binding. Is it clear? Yes, that is very, very flexible concept in this React JS. Okay, fine. Next one here, supports single page applications. So when you see the programming concept, then you will get more clarity in this point of view. No need to worry about this. Yes, supports single page application. See, after this class, I will give you clarification for each and every doubt. Okay, just wait for 5 to 10 minutes. So let me cover this point. Then what are the messages you send to me? For every message, I will give you the clarity. Okay, just wait. Okay, fine. Now here it supports single page applications. Okay, application concept. So what is single page application concept? Okay, it is very, very main reason why React got that much popularity. And one more point I am telling you, even Angular also supports these two concepts, data binding and single page application. Is it clear? So single page application means, what is that? Single page application means everyone is feeling, not everyone, some people they're feeling. So entire website we are creating with only one page, like that you may feel. That is not correct. First of all, what is the meaning of single page application? So I will show you in diagrammatic format. Now here, for example, this is one server. Yes, in this server we have n number of web pages. Okay, like that. This is home page, and this is about us, and this is contact us. Like that, we have n number of web pages here, like that. So home is there. Next one, about us. Okay, and next one, contact us, like. Yes, yeah. So now here, some X is trying to access your website. When he send the first request, then what is happening? The request is going to the home page, and the response is coming back here. Yes, yeah. Is it clear? So in this home page, program is displaying hyperlinks for about us as well as contact us. Now when user click on the about us, then what is happening? One more request is going to the server. Yes, and response is coming back to the browser. Like that, contact us, one more request is going to the server, and response is coming back to the browser. What is happening here for every, okay, option selection, one request is going to the server and response is coming back to the browser. So that is the way how the website is working. But when you are coming to the single page application, yes, now take this single page application. Okay, yes, 1 second. Yeah, what the benefit of single page applications? So all these pages, actually we are calling them as components in React. Yes, what is component, I have discussed with you later. All these pages we are binding as one object, that is nothing but router object. Okay, what is that? Something we are calling as router object. Now when user is sending the first request to the server, enter this object is loading into the client system. Enter this object is loading into the client system, and in client system those pages are loading here, like about us and contact us, like that these pages are loading here. Now when user click on this about us page, okay, then what is happening here? The data is coming from browser memory to that window, and contact is also the data is coming from the client system. In this point of view, okay, no need to send the request to the server again and again. So this is the concept of single page application. Means initially all the templates were loading into the browser cache memory location. Later, when user click on this about and contact these options, the data is coming from the cache memory location instead of sending the request to the server. So this concept we are calling as single page application concept. Is this clear? Yes, like that. So here in this point of we will discuss many things here, how to work with that router gods, okay, and authentications, okay. And next one here, see, based on the role based accessibility for administrator, only few pages, sorry, for administrator I want to provide the all pages accessibility, for user I want to provide few pages accessibility, like that. All these things will cover at the time of discussion single page application. And here it will not decrease the performance of application. Why? Because here initially the home template it is loading. In backend process it is calling the remaining templates. Is it clear? Means user can view the home template first, but in backend process it is calling the remaining template. That's why it is not affect on the, okay, loading point of view. Okay, but little bit loading time it will increase compared with normal way of accessing. But once it is loaded, then next level onwards, next time onwards, whenever calling the about us and contact us remaining pages, so that time performance is very fast compared with the normal way of accessing. Is it clear? So that's why this is very popular. Okay, yeah, you are asking one question also. So static pages load first. Yes, actually static things are loading first. Okay, so dynamic content you want to load, so then we are writing the lazy loading concept is there in backend, we are using that. Okay, yes, fine. And at the time of middle you want to connect with the database, that time we are taking the support of Ajax concepts. Here by using Ajax we are sending the request to the server and we are getting the response. Here static contents are loading first. Okay, fine, exactly. So that is about the single page application concept which we have here. Okay, yes, fine. Next one, yeah. So where is that notes I have written here? Let me check here. Okay, so somewhere I have written that notes. Okay, fine. Okay, okay, this is somewhere. Okay, I will write the next point here. Yeah, here only it seems like that. Come to this. Next, supports many services. Yes, React is supporting many services here. These services we are using in functional point of view. Just I told you one example. Ajax, if you take Ajax, okay. So normal in JavaScript we are writing number of lines coding by using XML HTTP request object, but the same concept when you are coming to this React JS, Axios is one package. That package is providing service name also itself Axios. That service we are using to work with the Ajax concept. Directly we can access the external API services by writing only one line statement. Like that, to read the cookies, to work with the local storage, like that in various point of views for every functioning, it is providing predefined services. Those services reduces the lines of coding. Is it clear? Those services are reducing the lines of coding. Okay. Next one here, supports JSX format. Very useful for us. JSX means JavaScript XML. Okay, this concept we are calling as JavaScript XML. What is JavaScript XML? As JavaScript XML means this format allows us to write the HTML controls inside the JavaScript. For example, in normal programming, if I place any HTML control inside JavaScript, what happens? What happens in normal programming? So here, that HTML control, if I place inside the JavaScript, okay, then it raises the error message. It raises the error message. Is it clear? So that's why here we cannot write the HTML content inside the JavaScript. But when you are working with the JSX format directly you can place HTML piece of code inside the JavaScript functions. That is very helpful to integrate the HTML with JavaScript. Okay, that is supporting with this React.js. Is it clear? I think you clear with these 4 points here. First of all, we have few more points. We need to discuss few more points related to this. So if anybody in interviews, definitely they will ask you. If you are attending interviews as a fresher or even experience also, definitely they will ask you, what are the benefits we have in React.js compared to JavaScript? So why these days companies using React.js? Or what are the features of React.js? Simply our answers like data binding, a simple single page application, and Jsx format. Next one, virtual DOM is there, that one. Okay, and here many validators, like that. Few more points are there. We will cover all these points. I think you got clarity in these 4 points which we discussed now, right? Yeah. So now you can ask me questions. Any doubts you have, you can ask me now. So I will keep you unmute mode 1 second. Just attendances. Okay, fine. Yeah, all of you in unmute mode only.
So
Yes.
can I
Yeah.
ask you one thing? If it is a single page application, right? So so how many components we are writing in React.js, we have to
With
include it in the index.js, right? So it will
yeah,
not be
Prasanna.
overheaded with the, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Prasanna, there is first of all no question of okay writing 5 components or 10 components like that.
Mhm.
Okay. For example, project means hundreds of components we are creating.
Yes.
Yes. So all these components we are creating as one router object. Is it clear? And moreover, here module segregation also we have module wise components we are creating. So here some components belongs to administrator module, some components belongs to user module. Like that, here we are creating 2 router objects here. Is it clear? Then this router object we are loading into the browser. If normal user login, then user module we are loading that router object. If administrator is login, then admin router object we are loading. Is it clear?
Okay.
In that
Okay.
router
Instead of
object,
directly components, router objects will be used to include the pages.
yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
exactly, we are creating modules in the form of router objects. Is it clear?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Clear.
That object we are
So we
calling in
will,
that
I
router
mean, the
object. Yeah,
how the
one let
router
me say
objects
one
will be
point.
created and it will be used for components will be discussed later, maybe, right? In the
Yeah, I told you for that we
okay.
are spending around 6 to 7 classes. Definitely we are
Oh,
spending with that routing concept, everything.
okay. Sir,
Yes.
is there
Yeah.
any notes provided in the end of the session
Yeah,
about the
not
subject?
end of the session.
Okay.
Every day I will. So here after these demos, when we are starting that concept, two, 3 classes are demo classes. Just I will tell
Okay.
you what is React and advantages. After that, when I am starting the concepts from JavaScript onwards. Okay. Every day
Okay.
notes I will upload into the server or Google Drive. You can download. Okay, and programs also I'm uploading. You can download those things.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
fine.
Thank you.
Any more queries? We can Node.js to place of Ajax. Actually, here Node.js is not client-side script; it is server-side script. Okay. For example, Ajax, I will give you one overview statement about this Ajax because many people they're asking about this Ajax. Ajax mostly we are using to call the server API services. Okay, so we are creating API services in Java servlets or PHP or Node.js, like that. In these locations we are getting API services. That API service, REST API services, or whatever it may be, XML or PC or SOAP, whatever it may be. These API services from front end you want to call, then we are taking the support of Ajax. Is it clear? So that's why Ajax always we are using with front end technology. Even back end also means server side also we can use Ajax, but it is not giving that much impression to use Ajax in server side, because from front end to back, Ajax means what is the meaning? Sending a request from browser to server. So means we are working with browser side scripts only, like JavaScript or React.js, etc. Is it clear? Yes. Yeah, if you miss any classes, two options I'm providing to you. One is you will get the recording or that class recording, or you want to join, you want to attend that Mr. Concept in another class. That option is also available to you. Okay. Yes, these two options are there. Yes. So course duration is not 45 days. I'm telling to you, definitely it will take 60 days because I have to discuss the JavaScript concepts first of all. So JavaScript foundation is very strong foundation for us. That's why first I will discuss JavaScript. After that we will start the React. In React we are discussing server-side integrations and database connectivity also. Is it clear? CRUD operations, how to work with that CRUD operations by using database, all these things we need to discuss. That's why, so 60 working days it will take, no doubt in that point of view. So 1 or 2 Sundays also you need to spend with me. Okay, so just a 3-hour session like that. So because concepts, we have concepts like that, that's why. So don't prepare for 45 days. Is it clear? Yes. So at least you should prepare for minimum 55 days if you spend some extra Sundays, or else maximum 60 days you can estimate that one. Is it clear? Yes. So any more queries? Yeah.
Sir, actually, I'm from testing domain. I
Your
don't have
testing
any,
domain.
yeah, I
Okay.
don't have any language JavaScript and all. So you said you will
Yeah, no
be
problem.
teaching JavaScript, right? Is that enough, or we have to learn?
Your voice is too much low. It's not audible to me.
Actually, you said you'll be teaching JavaScript, right, sir? So is
Yeah,
that
I will
enough?
teach you. Yeah, enough, because enough means it is more, because here we will discuss the advanced JavaScript. I told you, like classes and objects, next one prototypes and promises, okay, bindings, all these things we are discussing here. What are required to work with the React easily, everything I will discuss here. That's why no need to worry in that point of, right?
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Also, class timing, sir, morning only.
Class timings are actually here. I will start it by 9:10 every day. Okay, and 9:10 to 10:20 like that. You understand?
Okay.
Is
So
it
what about
convenient?
the practical knowledge? So we need to practice by ourselves, or will there be any help provided by you?
Yeah, yeah, programs I will explain to you, and those programs I will upload in server. You can download and you can practice those programs. Apart that, I will provide you some assignments. Okay, so those
Okay.
assignments, if you do, then it is very helpful to you to get the more hands-on practice.
And about the environment setup initially, like
I will
downloading
explain
the
you.
N. Okay.
NPM node modules, how to download,
Yeah.
and the node repository. Okay, NPM program, everything I will explain to you. Yes,
Actually, I'm a Java developer, so I have a requirement of learning this React JS. So I have some
not only
basics of
for you,
J.
not only for
Uh,
you. These days, everyone requirement is this one
yes,
only, right?
yes.
So
Actually, yeah.
compulsory,
For by the end
yeah,
of the session, I'll be able to develop the pages by my own, right?
yeah. You can easily work, and moreover, you have some experience with Java. That's why you can work with full stack programming. That is benefit to you, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So because
That is
nowadays full stack is very very important, very requirement in companies. So if you want to go with only server side script, you want to crack any interview, definitely they will ask you front end technologies. This is a common requirement these days. Yes, that's why demand is increased for this front end technology due to that reason only. Because in companies, definitely the person who is working with server side programming, he must know the front end technologies.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, fine. So these points you clear. A few more points are there to work to understand this benefits of React over JavaScript. In next session, I will discuss those concepts. Initial 3 days. I will take 1 hour session so that our timings should be 10:10 to 10. Sorry, 9:10 to 10:20. So these timings are flexible, or your login timings anybody. Yes, up to 10:20 you are convenient with this, right? Yes. Fine, then we will continue like that. Okay, so in tomorrow's session we'll discuss few more points. After that I will start JavaScript here. Okay, fine, see you in next class. Thank you, you can leave now.